So with so many of these um, toxic workplace structures, they're essentially designed to pinch as many pennies as possible. Um, and since you talk about these different issues on your podcast, um, what would you say is the thing that you're most worried about? Like, what is the thing that keeps you up at night in terms of all of these workplace related issues? Is there one thing in particular that you're like I'm keeping my eye on that? Like, I feel like this is going to be a big problem, or it's going to be a bigger problem down the line. Like, what's on your radar?
For our industry, as long as you're in, if you're a producer, then chances are it's not going to change much because our industries are regulated. You know, whereas if you're more so on the customer service side, you know, or even on claim side, a lot of claims use drones to fly over homes. Like I can
Hmm.
say, hey, like when you purchase a home, one of the first questions that someone like myself will ask you is, how old is your roof? Is your roof in good shape? Yeah, my roof is still brand new. Drone fly over and see the roof was older than shit.
Wow, I didn't know they did that.
So that's the thing. A lot of stuff is going to be automated. I mean, that's why I'm very receptive to what Andrew Yang has to say.
Oh my
I'm very
God.
receptive to that. At first, I wasn't. I'm just like, but I actually went to his website, looked at his platform, looked at different issues that I personally care about. Like me personally, I want reparations. I do. I'm not budging on that. I'm not budging. I will not budge on that. A lot of people say it's too much, it's too expensive. But I'm at an award ceremony. Our station was nominated for an award, so people's walking in and out. But I'm not gonna budge on that.
Wow.
But because my thing is, for foundational Black people, we built this motherfucker. Give us our bread. Everybody else, any other people group, has gotten compensated for past wrongs. It's in the DNA of this nation to mistreat us. It's actually part of the business model, actually. But the problem is that everyone else here that is not, Europe or white, can be sent home. Can be sent home to their home country, like countries. Where you gonna send us?
So,
But yeah, but like, I like a lot of the things he's talking about. I don't know if he's gonna win, and I noticed. Have you noticed? And I talked about this earlier.
mhm.
With Bloomberg, he's jumping in the race. I think he's jumping in the race because the big these progressive candidates, they don't like him because people like Andrew Yang, people like an Elizabeth Warren, and others can win. And if they win and you have a blue Senate, you have a blue House, the House is already blue, and a blue White House, you're going to see drastic changes to a lot of stuff. They're going to have to pay more in taxes, and the big money don't want to do that. That's why Bloomberg, in my opinion, is getting in. But the things that I'm looking at is things like automation. Um, I'm looking at, really, and it's a real problem. I'm looking at automation. I'm really thinking about the environment because, we can talk about, the things that us individual humans have going on or don't like or what have you, or traditional abuses and things of that sort. But if we're dead, none of that shit's gonna matter. Yeah, our
So,
world, our world is like really under attack. But me personally, my thing is reparations, uh, the economy, automation, and the environment. Those are things that I care about.
so on those things that you're talking about, I definitely want to go ahead and talk about automation. Obviously, this is a subject that I'm very passionate about. But first, on the topic of reparations, because I know that a lot of people have different um, like philosophies on how actually is implemented. From your perspective, how would you see it being played out? What do you think is the best way for reparations to be or a reparations program to be set up?
I think that the majority population will burn this nation to a crisp before they cut checks. So I think that free education, I think that a housing voucher and a voucher for a car would be sufficient. And I'm saying that because, number one, there's no checks being cut. And it's the equivalent of 40 acres in a mule. Because if you have transportation, if you have education or job training, it doesn't have to be college, it can be trade school or what have you. And if you have a place to stay, a house, a horse, 40 acres in a mule, that's what it is. That will be the thing that will do it. And plus it'll be over with, because frankly, I'm tired of talking about it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna let it go, because I'm looking at all these other people groups getting paid. Where's mine? And I gave the most, and I continue to give them. Just for my people group, we continue to give them most in terms of inventions, gold medals, Super Bowl championship. Come on, man.
Even just the simple
culture
fact that you were talking about the essential success of America, the business model was really founded off of slave labor. And I think for so many people, they see the distance of time that has passed, and they think that, oh, well, for some reason, if there's enough elapsed, then we don't have to worry about it. But it's like money. We're still benefiting from all of that still.
It's the money. It's because it's in the trillions of dollars. Because the thing is, if you look at the things that happened to the Asian population in World War II, people got paid because it was over a 4 to 5 year period, and they were paid relatively quickly, and it was easy to be like, okay, here's $15,000, $20,000, or whatever $1,000. But because it's been almost 200 years since it happened, and interest and the equivalent of 40 acres in a mule, do you know how much land is worth for 40 acres of anywhere in this country? They would have to cut $1 million per household in black mule. They're not doing that. They're not going to do anything. And the thing is, if they did it, it would be such an economic boom for this country, because in my personal opinion, and I'm just keeping it real, a lot of us will put it right back into the economy. We're going to buy a house, a car, and consumer goods. We're going to give it right back to you. Why wouldn't you want that to happen? And it's just, the thing is that it boils down to jealousy. It's jealousy, because if you look at what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you had a community of black people that were very prosperous, and they burnt that shit to the ground. And they burnt it to the ground. It was based on for jealousy. It's like, hey, okay, we don't want you living amongst us. No problem. When we were on thing, oh damn, they're doing good. We can't have that. And this has been done in Wilmington, North Carolina, Rosewood. It's like whenever anybody of color does well, and I'm not gonna just leave it to us, because whenever any person of color in this nation does well, if you do too good, if you do too good and you want to help too many people look like you, they're coming for you.